2 million reduction in the waiting lists by the scheme that we've got to work 24/7.
In today's video, Sir Keir Starmer, the Labour Party leader, finds himself under intense scrutiny as media outlets and critics alike closely examine his recent actions and policy decisions. His leadership and the Labour government's promises, which some argue have been misleading, are now facing an unprecedented level of public attention and analysis. From tax hikes to economic growth debates, the conversation around Labour's latest budget announcement is growing more intense by the day. One of the most debated issues involves Labour's recent budget, which includes a £40 billion tax increase. This move has drawn criticism from various political and business figures who argue that it contradicts promises made in the Labour manifesto. Many had expected a government that would support working families and avoid burdening them with additional taxes. However, Labour's budget has introduced measures that some claim disproportionately affect the working population, which has led to accusations of broken promises and growing public frustration. Prominent figures have voiced their concerns about the impact of Labour's policies on the economy. Rishi Sunak, a leading Conservative figure, openly challenged Labour's approach, suggesting that the government is undermining confidence and restricting economic growth. According to Sunak, the path Labour has chosen, one that increases borrowing and tax rates while putting pressure on investors and workers, could have long-lasting negative effects on the nation's economic prospects. "You don't create growth, you hold back growth," he argued, indicating that Labour's policies may lead to higher debt and inflation instead of the promised economic growth. Meanwhile, other critics like Conservative MP Julian Knight have accused Labour's leaders of being dishonest with the public. In a recent interview, Knight expressed disappointment, stating that Labour's policies are at odds with their pre-election promises. He pointed out that Labour had assured voters they would not raise taxes on working families, only to introduce substantial tax increases once in office. This shift, he argued, could damage public trust in the government, especially as the cost of living continues to rise. Nigel Farage, another prominent public figure, also criticised Labour, accusing the party of using misleading tactics. He highlighted that the recent tax hikes contradict Labour's election promises, which could erode public confidence in the government's commitment to transparency and honesty. Even mainstream media outlets, which traditionally align with Labour's values, have started to question the credibility of the current administration. Keir Starmer, aware of the mounting criticism, appears frustrated with the media's coverage. As the leader of the Labour Party, he is under significant pressure to address these issues and clarify his government's stance. Yet the focus on these criticisms shows no signs of slowing, and Starmer's response in the coming days could play a crucial role in shaping public opinion on Labour's future. In other news, a British retiree recently experienced a distressing situation when he was fined £6,000 by Border Force officials after a stowaway was found in his motorhome. The incident took place in Calais, France, when the couple, both in their 70s, was preparing to return to the UK. The migrant who was discovered hiding in their vehicle is thought to have entered unnoticed during a brief stop at a supermarket. Despite cooperating fully with officials, the retiree was later informed that he was liable for the fine due to a clause in the Immigration and Asylum Act. The man, a former ambulance worker, expressed his dismay at the fine, describing it as excessive and unjust. "I feel that I am being punished for something I had no control over," he said, recounting the experience. He and his wife were unaware of the stowaway, and he argues that they did everything in their power to follow regulations. However, he received a formal letter from the clandestine entry civil penalty team informing him of the fine. His local MP and Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner have since been notified and are reportedly reviewing the case. Finally, across the Atlantic, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, are taking on more individual projects. Recent months have seen them pursuing separate engagements, a decision some speculate might be due to professional or personal challenges. Meghan has focused on commercial ventures, while Harry has taken on philanthropic efforts, signalling a shift in their public image since moving to the United States. Royal watchers have expressed mixed feelings about this new phase in their lives. While some see it as a way for the couple to expand their impact, others interpret it as a sign of strain in their relationship. An insider recently shared that Meghan is feeling drained by the speculation surrounding their marriage. though both she and Harry appear committed to using their platform for causes they believe in. The Sussexes stepped down from their roles as senior royals in 2020, and while they've encountered challenges, they continue to engage in social and charitable initiatives. In sum, these stories reflect a period of intense scrutiny for public figures across various domains, from politics to royalty. Each scenario highlights different facets of accountability and public perception, demonstrating how actions and promises are weighed against public expectations. Public trust, it seems, remains a pivotal concern for those in the spotlight as they navigate criticism and strive to balance their commitments with the demands of their roles.